Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to a brand new installment of Cloud9 News, a brand new series I was thinking of bringing to the channel, where I will be giving my thoughts on anime related news, and then depending on how well this does, eventually we could also get into gaming news and just news in general. But for now, let's kick things off with some anime related news, and today's story comes from r/anime, and the title reads, Crunchyroll increases tier pricing in first subscription cost change since 2019. So almost 5 years since they've last raised their prices. So going into this, my main two questions are, number one, how much did they raise the prices? All right, are they trying to get away with highway robbery? And my second question is going to be, why did they raise the prices? I think I kind of have an idea in my head. I think it might have something to do with Funimation shutting down, but we'll see once we actually get into this story. Alright, so here we have the actual article, and then right underneath the title it says Crunchyroll is raising some subscription prices following the controversial shutdown of Funimation. There you have it. And diminishing benefits for ad-supported viewing. So my guess is an increase in ad block, maybe? That's been hurting their ads that they show on their videos, because I know, man, the Crunchyroll ads were brutal, dude. Oh my gosh. Now, I don't know if they've gotten better because I have Crunchyroll Premium, but in the past, back when I used to use Crunchyroll for free, oh my gosh, man. When you sat there waiting in anticipation for the latest Hunter x Hunter episode to drop, and then you get into it and you just get smacked with ads, it's like, there's no worse feeling than that, especially because we all know some anime really like to drag out the suspense. So the shutdown of Funimation is a big reason why they're raising the prices, and also the diminishing profits from ad-supported viewing. So makes sense. So that definitely makes sense, but let's get further into the meat of this story. So Crunchyroll has announced an increase in its subscription tiers in select countries. Okay, so not everywhere, but just specific countries, including the United States. Oh well, we're screwed. According to the streaming service, this is the first price increase for the company since 2019. Crunchyroll announced on May 1st, 2024 that it will be increasing the prices for its Mega Fan tier and Ultimate Fan tier subscriptions. Okay, and here they're actually about to get into the prices. The Mega Fan tier will go from about $10 a month to $12 a month. Interesting. Okay, so they're raising the prices by basically $2. If we do the math there, that's $24 more a year. You basically go from paying $120 a year to $144 a year. Not too crazy, but I don't know. Some people might think that this is a lot already. $10 a month to watch some anime. So jumping, $2 higher, that might be the straw that breaks the camel's back for them. And then here it says, while the Ultimate Fan tier will go from $15 a month to $16 a month. All of this is in USD, by the way. Now, if you just look at it at face value, $2 increase, $1 increase, that's not anything too crazy. But everything has been getting more expensive lately. Everything has been making their own subscription services. So I know Netflix, they've increased their prices recently. They're also really trying to cut down heavily on account sharing. Everyone and their mother has a subscription service. And of course, there's also the classic situation where you just have so many subscriptions that you're juggling that even if you aren't using a specific service anymore, you forget to cancel it, so you still get charged on your card for it. So right now, I feel like a lot of people are already frustrated with all of the subscriptions we have here. And now we have Crunchyroll not only raising their prices, but I also, now correct me if I'm wrong, but I also believe that before Funimation shut down, they kind of collaborated with Crunchyroll. I believe the way that it worked is if you had a Funimation subscription, you also got the Crunchyroll benefits, and the same vice versa. But once Funimation shut down, all of us lost benefits that belong specifically to Funimation. So not only did the fall of Funimation take away a bunch of benefits from the price we were all paying before, but on top of that, they're raising the prices even higher. That's kind of crazy when you put it that way. So we're basically paying more for less now. But let's continue. The updated subscription prices will impact the US. We already know it's up for us Americans here. We got Argentina, Colombia, France, Portugal, and other additional countries. I think it's weird that they put other additional countries because, like, what other countries, you know? If I'm from, like, Mexico, for example, do I count as those other additional countries? Like, I wish there would at least be, like, a hyperlink here that we could click and it listed off all the countries affected. But if you're in the US, Argentina, Colombia, France, or Portugal, we're all in the same boat. We're all screwed here. And, oh my, no, I did not read this. I did not read this. My eyes glanced across the next sentence, and I cannot believe this. The 14-day free trial period will also be reduced to 7 days. I don't know if you guys used Crunchyroll back in the day, but these free trials, those were like our lifelines, man. Every YouTuber and their mother had like free Crunchyroll subscriptions, or the trial subscriptions that you could use. I would always just make a new account, use the trial subscription, get a free 14 days, make a new account. But now they're cutting it down from 14 days to 7 days, which honestly, if you think about it, it sucks for us, the consumers, because, you know, you're basically getting half of what you got before, but it was free at the end of the day. And, you know, 14 days is quite a long time. If I'm being completely fair, 14 days of a free service is quite a long time. You could binge through multiple entire series within 14 days. And if you could just keep constantly making new accounts and stacking these free trials, then, brother, we got away with a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But the story is not over yet. Here, it says the price change reflects the increase in content on Crunchyroll in recent years, expanding its category to more than 45,000 episodes via 1,400 series and films. This is an interesting take here. So, wow, okay. Now, of course, I think we all know at the end of the day, the shutdown of Funimation and, like they said earlier, the ads not getting as much, or them not making as much profit from ads, definitely had an impact. But here, they're saying that they're raising the prices because they've expanded their catalog so much in recent years. Now, one question I have is, can we see it before and after? Let me know how many episodes and series they had before compared to now, because we don't know how much they actually increased it. And if we did know, then we could kind of think in our heads like, okay, yeah, that seems fair, you know, $2 more for, you know, 5,000 more episodes makes sense, or something like that. And then it says that means it would take nearly 2 years to watch everything on Crunchyroll. Now, granted, who wants to watch every single thing on Crunchyroll? We all know, just as there are some absolutely fire anime out there that we keep up with every single week, there is also some absolute garbage anime that airs, and I guarantee you, out of these 45,000 episodes or 1.4K series, at least like, I don't know, I'd say at least 700. 700 might be a lot, I'm not gonna lie. I'd say maybe 500 of the series that they have on Crunchyroll have to be some below mid-level anime that, like, if you've watched it, maybe you thought it was okay, but you wouldn't recommend it, or it's just straight up bad. I feel like at least 500 anime out of the 1.4K have to fit within that category. So let's continue. Highlights include the just launching spring 2024 anime season featuring more than 50 simulcast series, doubling its previous average of 20 to 25 series per season. Now, this is really interesting because, of course, as you guys know, I do anime reactions on the channel, and before I dive into a new season, I like to go and see everything that that season's offering, and most of the time, there's only about like 10 to 15 anime that actually interest me. There's a couple more that I think might not be bad, but just aren't for me. And then there's also a lot that I think I would never watch in a million years. So saying that they have 50 different series that they're currently simulcasting, it's like, okay, but how many of those series are actually pulling numbers? How many of those series are actually getting good ratings? So all of these things that they're saying to kind of prove their case of, oh, we've added so much to our catalog, so these $2 are nothing, this $2 price increase shouldn't be anything compared to all of the content we've added. Well, how much of that content is content worth paying for? That's the biggest question. And music videos from superstar musicians as part of Crunchyroll's partnership with Sony Music Entertainment. Now, I don't know what this pertains to. If you guys know, feel free to let me know in the comments. This price adjustment news comes just after Crunchyroll announced it's launching the Crunchyroll store in Europe, and just days after the highly requested multiple profiles feature launched on the platform, allowing multiple users in the same household to have their own customizable profiles, watch lists, and recommendations. Oh, perfect. We got fun, wholesome anime for the whole family to enjoy. Some popular favorites being High School DxD, Seikon no Quasar. Fun for the whole family, man. I just think this idea is so funny. Obviously, they're getting this from Netflix, where they have the multiple different profiles you can have. And one thing I do really like about the setup that Netflix has is that based on the anime, or not anime, but based on the shows that you watch on Netflix, your own profile will start suggesting you movies and series and stuff that relate to things that you've already watched. So it's kind of, you know, customized for you as a viewer. And I don't know if Crunchyroll is going to do the same thing. On top of that, like, just think about it. How many people are like in the same household all consuming anime together? I imagine not too many people. And down here, it says Crunchyroll has made some controversial changes among anime fans in its recent years. Now we're getting into it. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty, and boy, do we have quite a bit to read. Although this is the first time in 5 years that Crunchyroll has increased its subscription pricing, this isn't the only controversial change for the anime streaming giant since being acquired by Sony in 2021. In 2022, Crunchyroll scaled back its anime catalog for ad-supported viewers. From being able to watch a new episode, yep. Wait, that was in 2022? New episode of a currently airing series a week after it premiered with no ads, to locking it completely behind a paywall. Oh my god. Now, like I said, I have premium, so I had no idea this is the case, but I know one of my biggest gripes that I had with Crunchyroll, I hated the fact that I'd be watching a simulcasted series and you would never be able to watch the latest episode of a series because you had to be a premium member to see it, which sucks because, you know, you're like an episode behind everybody else that has premium. And on top of that, you know, that was before I was old enough to work, so I couldn't literally afford to have premium. So of course I had the trials and stuff, but you know, eventually those ran out. So they changed it from having to wait a week to watch the latest episode to now locking it completely behind a paywall. So that means, I'm guessing, I could be completely wrong, but does that mean even after a series ends, you won't be able to watch the finale unless you have premium? That's kind of dirty, I'm not gonna lie. That doesn't sit right with me, man. Man, if you add this here on top of the price raises, on top of all of the other things that mentioned, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a couple more swashbucklers in the community, if you know what I'm saying. Some new Straw Hat members joining the community. I would not be surprised, man. Because like I said, there's already so many other subscription services. Many of those other subscription services are already raising their prices. And then for Crunchyroll, someone that's already had some questionable changes in the past, are raising their prices on top of that. That's not going to sit right for a lot of people. Sony's acquisition of Crunchyroll in 2021 brought forth the promise of the former piracy site merging with Texas-based anime company Funimation, which came into fruition this year. Oh boy, I wonder how that went. After 30 years in the North American anime business, Funimation is no more. That didn't age well. And with its demise comes the loss of... Yeah, exactly! This is exactly what I was saying. They were talking about expanding their catalog, but how much have they expanded their catalog? And on top of that, even though they're expanding their catalog, we also lost 150 anime series that were held by Funimation that are no longer accessible through Crunchyroll or having a Crunchyroll subscription. So we're paying more, kinda for less, of what we already had before. Previously available on the company's titular streaming service, which has yet to be transitioned to Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll's perceived monopolization of the anime streaming industry by some fans comes after previous criticisms regarding its limited home media releases, sparse English dub productions, and poor support for union workers. Jeez, man, it's getting hot in here, man. Crunchyroll, what are you guys doing? In recent February interview, Crunchyroll CEO Rahul Purini said AI-generated subtitles are definitely an area we're focused on, also causing some controversy among viewers, and that's obvious. That's an obvious L on Crunchyroll's part, saying that they're considering doing AI-generated subtitles because there are already people that use AI-generated subtitles. And obviously the biggest thing that you lose with AI-generated subtitles, that human element of actually, you know, man-translated subtitles or human-translated subtitles, because humans are able to pick up on the context and realize like, oh, they're saying this in a sarcastic tone or a joking tone or something like that, where I'd imagine now AI subtitles might be able to get to that point, but right now I'm guessing it's more so gonna be like literal translations. Ah man, I don't know how to feel about this, dude. I know there's a lot of people that have been supporting Crunchyroll and then they're hit with all these changes they don't like and they're like, man, you guys are lucky. You guys are lucky you have Mushoku Tensei. You guys are lucky you're airing these specific series or else I'd be out of here. And then they're just slowly kind of pushing these people further and further away, and their biggest, most recent push is them raising the prices. So, like I said, we might be getting a couple more swashbucklers, especially once this is announced, because I feel like a lot of people don't know. I didn't know before coming across this article, but once they actually do make this change and raise the prices, people are not going to be happy at all. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. And again, this is a brand new series where I'll be checking out a bunch of anime related news. So if you have any sources or like websites you want me to check out, or any specific articles that are trending that you want me to check out, make sure to leave suggestions to them in the comment section down below. But with that, I'm gonna head out. Thank you all so much for watching this far into the video, and I will catch you all in the next one. Have a good one.